Adam Brandley, business strategist and CEO of the independent stock market, the ISM. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning.
So tell me, give me your basic take on the situation here for small business. I know it's dire, and yet I don't know that it's terminal, especially not for everybody. There's always going to be attrition in small biz, but we didn't think it would come this way. But we don't get to pick and choose all the rules. What say you about, let's say, the next 3 to 6 months going forward? What will it look like?
Well, I think you're exactly right. I think it is terminal for some companies, and yet that's how it's always been. We have to take a look inside ourselves. We have to take a look at the environment, the industry, the market, and be able to pivot and make changes to move forward. And that's what every entrepreneur has to do. But this is certainly, like running a marathon and getting hit by a bus and not worrying about necessarily finishing the race, but surviving. And that's what a lot of companies are trying to do right now.
I mean, I admire that, at least we're not necessarily picking winners and losers, or trying to give people as many of these loans as possible that are forgivable. That's on the one end, the paycheck protection. There's another loan category here too, to try to keep businesses going. I think that's good. But Warren Buffett said many years ago, when the times get tough and the tide rolls out, you see who's been swimming without a swimsuit on. And that even in good times, well, you see where I'm going with this. I'm trying to do a harsh visual, but all of a sudden you find people who were operating on the edge anyway, and this has pushed them over. Is this necessarily the right thing, or should we be trying to shore up businesses that were already practicing business best practices? Should we be more selective about those who get helped?
Well, I think that's a tough thing to do, and certainly you can't judge a person's heart and drive and perseverance.
Okay.
And in this world that we live in today, the entrepreneur, that is a fellow with optimism, with hope, with commitment to really make a difference. And so, no, I don't think you should give the money to the big successful companies only. I think also, though, that entrepreneurs should not just be waiting for loan monies to come in. There are other ways to get money. I mean, what we do is we show people that there's a better way than debt, but equity, giving a piece of your company to those people who are loyal and love your business model. And that's really where it's at. Get 1,000 of your customers to put up $250, and now all of a sudden you have $250,000 to work with, and you have 1,000 loyal customers and fans that are holding their chest up saying, hey, we're part of this business too.
But wait a minute, or do I have 1,000 new bosses? Hang on. Do I have? Because the point of being an entrepreneur is that the boss is me. That's what you know where I'm going with that.
Well, you're exactly right. But when you bring in when you bring in investors, it's important to set expectations right from the get-go. Hey, these are non-voting shares. We need your help in spreading the word, social media, marketing, and so forth. And we'll have a once-a-year shareholder meeting, but I control the company. And so just set expectations then. Hey, look, we're not looking for distributions for 2 to 4 years, maybe go public in 5 to 7 years. So as long as you start setting expectations and, hey, we're putting the money to work, so you don't call up if your car breaks down, these kind of things. But when it works, it really works.
Yeah.
And if people...
No, it's a good... I know...
People,
Adam, understand, I'm playing devil's advocate here a little bit, but I will say this. Yeah. I will say this. A number of years ago, I was part of a investment in English soccer club, okay? And there was a bunch of us. I mean, like not a few. And everybody had a small fractional investment. We were supposed to speak as a group, not individually. That didn't always happen. And what happened was eventually this club couldn't wait to buy back and eliminate our interest in that club because they had too many masters, if you know what I'm saying. And that was a while ago. But it taught me something, though, that you can get an influx that way, but you better have a way to rein it and be careful with it, or you might be surviving, but you're putting yourself it's not a one-size-fits-all. And I think you would agree that there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all when you're talking about your business, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. This is if you set the expectations and people really understand that they're in it for the long term versus, hey, I'm an angel investor or I'm a venture capital firm that's going to come in and take 85% of the control and run the day-to-day. You do need to know the difference. Yeah.
By the way, I did that fractional thing with a racehorse too, and that didn't work out well in the end. But
I'll tell you what has worked. The rich keep getting richer because they invested in private companies. $100 into Uber is $2.4 million. $100 into Twitter is $159,000. But before now, the common American did not have that opportunity to invest early on. They had to wait till those companies went public. Well, they then got to see small growth, like in Twitter, for example, $100 is $226, which is still nice, but it's $159,000 different than what the accredited investor was able to play with. So, yes, you have to be careful, and yes, you can lose your money. These are risky investments, investing in private deals. But
Adam, what's the coronavirus going to do to angel investors out there? Will there be fewer, but there'll be great opportunities for them and maybe a chance to connect? Will there be more come out of the woodwork and say, I'm going to use this as the floor and work up towards the ceiling? What do you think?
Well, I think there certainly are fewer as far as traditional angel investors because, people have lost 20, 30, 40% of their portfolios. But there's going to be a new definition of angel investors, in my opinion. And that is the everyday American, 18 and older, that can put $100 in, $1,000 in, and get some ownership in these companies and become angels to those businesses that without controlling and mandating policy and procedure.
Adam Brandley is the business strategist CEO of the independent stock market. Give people the elevator speech real quick. Tell me what that is.
Well, the independent stock market is a new marketplace without any derivatives. That means no one can come short the stock like what happened where the Dow Jones went from 30,000 to 19,000. You can't do that on our marketplace. The other thing is we've got a TV show that promotes those companies, and that's called America's Real Deal. And that's where you get to watch the companies pitching and then use our mobile app and instantly invest. Instead of the sharks, America gets to invest. So that's americasrealdeal.com.
Adam Brandley, our guest. If you do that, check it out. We'll qualify it and say do your own due diligence, right? I'm sure you tell everybody the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
If you're interested, like I was at once in a small town English soccer club or a horse fractional interest, do your due diligence. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying, hey, baby, do your due diligence, all right? It's always good.
Amen, always.
Yep. Yeah. Adam, thanks for being here today very much.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. We're back in the morning wake up.